So we have one big week ahead of us for XRP and the cryptocurrency market. So I want to get you guys up to speed with all of the latest news, the TA and the macro, so you can be fully up to date with this market. I'm going to discuss my XRP trades and where I think and other people think it might be going in the short term and in the long term. So strap in, watch this video all the way to the end. And if you can do me a favor, hit that like button if you appreciate XRP updates every single day. And guys, if you are new to the channel, we do that every day. So hit that subscribe button. Remember, nothing in the video is financial advice. And if we jump straight onto this website, FX Leaders, I just wanted to have a little look at what they think are key levels to watch. So the support zones, $2.15, $2.11, and $2.08. The resistance sitting at $2.17, $2.23, and $2.26. Basically eyeing up that there could be a breakout of this wedge that is being formed right now. And if it does break out from the top, we could head higher. Now we need to wait for breakout signals according to the FX Leaders here. For newbies, this is a classic wedge setup. The key is to wait for confirmation. So the bullish play would be a break above $2.17.8 with volume and a close above resistance. Target $2.23. Set stop below 215. The bearish play would be break below 215 with bearish candles, could go to 211 or 208. So let's check out the chart here with right now sitting at $2.19. So if we check that out, we can see that it has broken above $2.17, and now we want it to close above the resistance. So if we take a look here, we can see that closing above the resistance will be approximately this region, if not about $2.20 in my opinion. Having a look here at my XRP trade, I feel like this is clearly a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low structure here, having just gone down to retest the previous support. If you've been watching the channel, as you know, we did hit a stop loss on the way down, but I re-added it to the position, bringing my average open price down, which is pretty much exactly what I want to happen. So no worries there. And we are now back in $2,000 of profit. Only about a 10% move so far, but I'm hoping this goes significantly higher. As you can see, the XRP trade is the most margin of any of the trades that I've used in my 3x leverage trading strategy, because I think that this could go absolutely parabolic any time now. As you've seen in the past, we have XRP traveling sideways for a long period of time. Everyone gets bearish, everyone gets bored, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, XRP moved about 500%. So I think that might happen again, especially as we can see different formations forming depending on how you want to look at it. There's various ways to look at it. You can see a breakout here and a potential retest. You can see maybe a potential bull flag. You could see maybe a potential bearish formation depending on how you're looking at this. For me personally, what I'm eyeing for is first of all breaking this resistance here at about $2.35 and then the local high of about $2.66. At that point, if we go close to there, I'll probably take some profits out of our short-term trade here, and then I'll wait for a break of the previous local high, and then hopefully take a little bit more profits, then head higher, take a little bit more profits. Now that's the key to my low leverage strategy. As you guys know, if you've been watching the channel, I also hold XRP in my spot bags. So I don't have to worry about the spot bag. If we go up, I can continue to hold that as long as I like, but I can make sure I'm generating income by taking profits from my low leverage strategy. That's how I personally make money in this market, and I remove emotion from holding my spot trades. If you want to learn more about that, I talk about this strategy every single day. This is my personal strategy that I've built over the last 8 years in crypto. And if you want to join along on the ride to see what I'm doing every day, hit the subscribe button. And if you do want to trade in this market, guys, we have a link to BitUnex with over 8,000 USDT worth of newbie benefits waiting for you right now in the description. All you need is your email address, your password, and to read the user agreement so you understand what you're getting involved in. But guys, honestly, BitUnex, if you are someone who travels, or if you're someone who just wants access to an exchange without providing personal details, this is a really good, really well working exchange. They already have over 1 million global users, even though you may never have heard of them. And I've been trading on them for about a year now, never had a problem. And of course, you need to do your own research by reading the user agreement, but I will leave the link to that down there in the description. Now, looking at the overall macro, as you know, I believe that Bitcoin affects the price of XRP right now. And I believe the macro, like the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, affects the price of Bitcoin. So So we need to look at the macro to figure out what's going on and how it's going to affect the market. So right now, we have Trump administration demanding final trade deal offers from countries by Wednesday to avoid reinstatement of the tariffs. Why is this worrying? Because I think it's almost guaranteed that we have at least one country who doesn't have a final trade deal. Trump gets mad, he reinstates the tariffs, and then the market gets scared. This could lead to the volatility index heading higher. This is where we had that big crash. That could head higher. Then we could have the S&P 500 fall. The Nasdaq normally falls more than the S&P 500, and that would affect Bitcoin. And then, of course, if it affects Bitcoin, it's going to affect the altcoins like XRP. Now, that might not happen. We might actually get good news, but this is what we need to prepare for in case something like that happens. Now, on a technical level, Bitcoin came down to retest our support zone. I was off by about 1%, but that's perfectly fine. Essentially, just a wick below our support zone, which is what we discuss about. These are our liquidity hunts. The reason why the market hunts this liquidity is also the same reason why this James Wynn character has been liquidated recently by over $100 million, because market makers, in my opinion, are hunting the liquidity. So where does the liquidity lie? It sits at previous support or just below them, just at these previous supports. So we wick down, we grab the liquidity, and then the market is allowed to head higher. That's kind of how I see it and kind of how I base my trading strategy. Now, you notice on the trades that we have open, most of them have been opened at really opportune moments, like the Bitcoin trade, 74,900. How did I catch that bottom? And XRP, we opened really early on. How did I know on the pullback that it was an opportune moment to open XRP? Well, because we were having all of these liquidations from this James Wynn character, who you can see is now in $350,000 of profit, gaining very quick here as Bitcoin's price rises. But I believe that there was a hunt for his liquidity on the market right here. Not only his liquidity, but also the liquidity of most other retail traders. Because if we take a look at this, I like to look at the Bitcoin exchange liquidation map. We have 16 billion of long liquidations or cumulative long liquidations on the leverage. Now, what does this show us? The majority of people are still long. But this was at about 20 billion and the shorts were way flat. So what that showed us, most people were betting the price would go up. So including this $billion trader over here, we also had a load of people, billions more of dollars trading long just like him. So potentially the market was manipulated, pushed downwards, grabbed the liquidity, and now we have liquidity sitting above us with $12.5 billion of short liquidations that can happen above us all the way up to a price of $116,000. So this makes me relatively bullish on the price action of Bitcoin, which in turn can spill over into our altcoins, which we're starting to see right now. Now, as I was saying before, we are in a Bitcoin season and everyone is feeling a little bit down on their luck, a bit pissed off with altcoins. And I understand that. It makes perfect sense. But guys, if we position ourselves when the majority of the market is pissed off with altcoins, that's normally before an alt season, if it comes. Now, I don't know if it's going to come, but I'm betting with my positions that it is going to come. And if we look at the history, before an alt season, everyone hates altcoins. Before an alt season, everyone hates altcoins. Before an alt season, everyone hates altcoins, and so on. If they didn't hate altcoins and they actually loved altcoins and everyone was like, yep, XRP, Ethereum, Solana, Sui, all going to the moon, put all your money into it, guess what we would be in? We would be in an alt season, and that would be where I'm taking profits. So I want to take you guys on that journey, guys. And of course, we have these trades, which I'm trading live here on this channel. So if you want to do something similar, follow your own strategy, we have links to BitUnex down there in the description. Over 8,000 USDT waiting for you down there. We also have Blowfin as well, where we're doing the copy trading. We also have XRP giveaway for Blowfin there, 200 up to 200 XRP for anyone who wants to sign up who's into XRP. So those two exchanges that I personally use are in the description. If you fancy signing up, guys, they're down there, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.